in China, where Indonesia and New Zealand tip off day 3 of the FIBA Women's Asia Cup. I'm Julia Montesano and I'm joined by Laurie Chiswick in commentary. Laurie, welcome to you. Both teams would certainly take positives out of their game day 1 results despite their losses, and we have another big slate of games today.
Well, I agree. Both teams come into today's game looking for their first win, but as you mentioned, can held their heads high in defeat. New Zealand came agonizingly close to playing an overtime game against Korea if it weren't for the heroics of Park Ji-soo. And Indonesia, for their first game ever in Division A, I thought they battled hard against China, who held a massive height difference in every spot on the floor.
We now welcome New Zealand onto the floor. You said at the start of the last game, Laurie, that they never give up and they fight to the end, and that's exactly what they did against Korea. They scored they went on a 9-0 run in the final 2 minutes to tie up the game, and they nearly caused that upset.
Well, the challenge for them will be to get over that disappointment from the game against Korea. And they did. They showed so much grit and determination. And to have that comeback in the last 2 minutes, they will need to refocus. But I tell you what, it shows a lot of heart from that team.
What a start for Nat Hurst in her coaching career. She experienced all the highs and lows of a seasoned career coach in just 1 game. We now welcome New Zealand's opposition, Indonesia, out onto the floor. We mentioned their early start to the tournament against China. What an initiation for them. A heavy loss against them on paper, of course, but you said it on the night, they didn't seem overawed by the occasion, and they seem really excited here today again.
Well, I was impressed with the way Indonesia handled the occasion of playing against the host nation in front of a massive, vocal and passionate crowd here at Shenzhen Stadium. They really look like they belong in Division A, but they will need all their composure and discipline to try and notch up their first win ever at this level. Pierre-Louis and Gradita will again need to step up and lead this team.
Andre Ekayana will feel better after getting 1 game in this Asia Cup under his belt, and so will all the players. There's great energy out there from the Indonesia team, ranked 57th in the world at the moment. They, of course, won the Division B tournament in 2023 to make their first ever appearance in Division A of the 2025 FIBA Women's Asia Cup. We're now going to pause to hear the national anthems of both Indonesia and New Zealand.
Please remain standing for the national anthem, Indonesia. 请保持肃立，奏印度尼西亚国歌。 北美区做别人回归一场，中国队相互致意。
We now see the two teams coming together in the middle of the court to exchange gifts ahead of the game. Up next, two massive rivalries come to life. Once again, Australia up against Japan and China facing off against Korea to round out the night. Introducing tonight's referees, Taha Al-Hashidi from Yemen, Samona Dehani from Iran, and Rakesh Ramalingayai from India. Big game for them tonight as well as the teams on the court at the moment. Let's check in with them for their final preparations, and we'll start with New Zealand, of course, ranked 26th in the world at the moment. They've gone with this lineup for their starting five: Shearer, Hokianga, McGoldrick, Tamilo, and Dale Laurie.
Exactly the same lineup they had in game one, so they're looking for a little bit of consistency. But they'll need a big game from Shearer again. She was wonderful with 22 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, so she'll need to continue to step up. And they just need to play the type of basketball that Coach Nat Hurst wants them to play: gritty, fast, organized.
Nat Hurst, a 7-time WNBL champion, a former Opal. She knows what it takes to perform on the big stage. She's now learning how to coach on the big stage as well. Let's now switch our attention to Indonesia. We know how excited they are to be here and how much they would love to stay in Division A of this prestigious tournament. And tonight, their starting five is Karen, Soima, Wong Sohajo, Orville, and Pierre-Louis.
And as New Zealand, they've gone with that same starting lineup too. And again, I think that's a good idea when you're coming into a tournament. Just get everybody used to their roles and what they need to do. So that starting lineup came out as best they could against the mites of China. But as I mentioned, Pierre-Louis, she's going to have a big game. She's really the focal point of this Indonesian team.
Coach Andre Ekayana on the screen. He is, of course, searching for Indonesia's first win in Division A of the FIBA Women's Asia Cup. We're counting down to tip off, and both teams will want to bounce back and get that all-important Asia Cup win tonight. Of course, for Indonesia, their first win ever, and for New Zealand, their first win of the tournament after finishing 4th in the 2023 Asia Cup edition. Two young squads going head-to-head, Laurie, but both full of fight, as we know.
Well, they are, and you know, the spots in Pool A are still well and truly up for grabs, and so, you know, a win here for either team is really important. And yes, I think you'd have to say New Zealand is favored just because they've been here, they're more experienced, but that won't stop the Indonesian team from putting up a good fight. And I think both teams need to take care of the basketball, and it'll be interesting to see which can get a better start. We've had some fast starts in some games from some teams, so both teams will want to hit the ground running.
The 26th ranked New Zealand up against the 57th ranked Indonesia in the first game of the 2025 FIBA Women's Asia Cup for day 3. Australia and Japan and China and Korea round out the 3 big games today. Indonesia making their way out onto the court for their second game. Defeated by China by 51 points on night 1. New Zealand went down to Korea by 2 points. Both teams searching for their first win. Welcome to Shenzhen in China for day 3 of the FIBA Women's Asia Cup. It is Indonesia going head-to-head with New Zealand. Both teams searching for their first win in the 2025 edition of this tournament. New Zealand ranked 26th in the world, Indonesia 57th. Tamilo hands off to Dale to try and start things off, but it's spotted away. Wong Sohajo can hand it off to Karen, who just falls short on her first attempt of the night. Hokianga did such a great job as the point guard in the last game. Just 17 years old, representing her country. Dale thought about the 3, then steps into the shot. Tamilo, she'll be a presence once again with those long arms. McGoldrick, the captain, has it stolen away.
Good anticipation by Karen, just on that little spin dribble, coming up with a steal.
Good energy early on from Indonesia. 2 early steals in the game. Karen likes the look of this one, knocks it down!
What a great start from her, doing it at both ends, coming up with that steal, and then nailing that three from the top of the key.
Hokianga with a quick step, finds Dale, who finds McGoldrick with the instant response.
That's what we like to see, an inside-out game from New Zealand. Good response from McGoldrick.
Karen, guarded by Shearer. Hits the deck. Baseline ball for Indonesia. Maybe it's a ploy for both teams to start using the three-point line a bit more in this game. Orville. McGoldrick. Again, Indonesia's slightly shorter team on the court compared to New Zealand. Tamilo using all of her height to drive in. Goes to the line for two.
Well, that foul was on Kim Piri-Lui, and it's really important that she doesn't get into any sort of foul trouble because they need her on the court. She's their tallest player. She's their best scorer out there.
So Victoria Tamilo at the line.
Well, she's 192 centimeters, which, given that they just played China, who had two players that were over 200, you know, she shouldn't give them much trouble at all, Indonesia.
Doesn't make the first two free throws of the game. Wong Sahajo with some pace now. To Orville. Pierre-Louis, a quick spin, a great finish.
That's exactly why they need her on the court, that sort of decision-making and finishing.
Dale to Hokianga. Back to McKenna. Dale. Great tap by Shearer. Tamilo could have finished it off. Can't get the putback still. Indonesia get away with it.
That was a good execution of the play by New Zealand. McKenna Dale had a nice open look. The three-point line just wasn't able to capitalize, but we could just see that nice finish by Pierre-Louis.
Indonesia lead 5-3. Pierre-Louis. Back to Orville. Soiba. The pass had too much heat on it. Shearer. Coming off a humongous performance against Korea. Dale. Hokianga. Finds a better angle.
Wow.
Knocks it down! Sweet shot from the 17-year-old Palace Hokianga. Dale finding her on the outside. Jumped into a better spot. And baked it in. And Pizzi approving on the sidelines.
We can see Orville just stumbling off the court, hobbling off the court. We hope that she's okay. Gradita has come in to run the point for her.
Pizzi onto the floor for New Zealand. Pierre-Louis steps back. That one was contested. So McGoldrick to inbound from the baseline. The New Zealand captain. Might go all the way. Pierre-Louis got in the way. McGoldrick persisted. 2 early fouls for Kim Pierre-Louis. It's not what they would have wanted.
Good perseverance by McGoldrick here.
She showed pure strength. We're going to see Ayo Sriata for the first time in the game. Coming on for Priscilla Karen. Kim Pierre-Louis is going to remain out there.
Well, that's an interesting move because it's a long game, 2 fouls with just over 3 minutes having been played.
Gradita, Wongsohajo, they go all the way. Great work, Sliata to finish. Call for New Zealand defense napping a bit. Dale, quick step, it gets caked away from her by Gradita. Wongsohajo dishes it into Pierre-Louis. And it was a late call, but a call nonetheless.
That was a really good push by Gradita up the floor to Wongsohajo, and then a little dribble penetration, and then to Kim Perry. So that was a good sequence of play for Indonesia.
Kim Pierre-Louis at the line. It's been an early battle between the bigs at both ends, coming off 16 points and 6 rebounds against China. Of course, the Canadian lateralized to play in the Indonesian team. Makes both free throws. Scores level once again. McGoldrick. Hokianga. Coming off a big 3 before. This time finds McGoldrick, who finds Dale, who finds the bottom of the net.
That's what Dale is there for. She's a great 3-point shooter. She's got a shooter's mentality, a nice release and follow through. Never in doubt.
Good step by Pierre-Louis, aggressive move, just fell short. Hokianga tried for the quick pass. Didn't quite pay off. Threw it directly to her coach in the end.
That's something both teams will want to be aware of, is the turnover count. In game 1, Indonesia had 23 turnovers against China and New Zealand had 16. So if either of them can cut that down, that'll go a long ways to securing some good shots.
Some fresh faces on the floor, Dalton, Flavel, and then Chandra for Indonesia. Comes back to Gradita. Strong hands, Pizzi. Stops and props. Wongsohajo just too aggressive with the hands there. It was an excellent read though.
It was. Beck Pizzi just needed to keep her dribble alive and probably get it across the center line before it's uncharacteristic of her. Beck Pizzi is high IQ, and I thought she played an excellent role in their game against Korea yesterday.
Good to see Orville back out there. We know she hobbled off a bit earlier on with a bit of an injury concern, but looks all good to continue. Trying to get around the New Zealand defense, eventually gets it back. Gradita sets her feet, knocks it down.
I'm not sure Gradita realized just how much time she had. She looked it straight away and then relaxed and shot the ball and looked good.
Pizzi driving hard and making that aggressive move count.
That's certainly what Beck Pizzi is capable of doing, putting it on the floor, especially from that elbow.
Gradita to Chandra. Looking for Orville. Orville sets. Good rebound, Sliata. That is just hustle from Siatra, just getting in there and getting those offensive rebounds. New Zealand a bit slow here to react, and then a heavy hit for both players. Sliata and McGoldrick a bit slow to get up. Oh, a hard collision. McGoldrick's going to hobble off to the bench and just get checked out. Antonio out there along with Whitaker. So Ema has checked out of the game. 14 points apiece, 4 minutes left in the first term. Flavu. Dale. Gets it back to Dalton, back to Flavu.
That's a great shot.
block.
Such poise shown by the youngster. The shot clock's ticking down, you're aware of it. And just a nice pull-up and then a steal from New Zealand.
Dale from the corner. Not this time. Gardita off and running. She's had great energy to start off this game. Chandra up against Whitaker. Trying to spin around the New Zealand tall tipper. Dale has had a great start to the game. Whitaker fancies her chances from long range now, and so she should.
Nobody was guarding her at all, so she had really no choice but to shoot that.
Good three-point shooting early on in this game. Gardita now. Antonio has a go. That one didn't quite connect.
The intent was right. She came down off of a pin down screen, ready to catch and shoot, just probably caught it a little bit too deep.
Amelia Shearer back out onto the floor. 22 points, 4 rebounds and 3 assists against Korea. Spoke about the three-point shooting in this game, 67% to 40%.
Let's see, Indonesia are in a zone.
Flavu tries her luck. Sriata rebounds. Gardita. A good crossover, they just couldn't get over the hands of Pizzi. It might work out for Sriata still. Gets it to Antonio. Wants to go inboard against Dalton, then steps back. Flavu hustles for the rebound. What can she do this time? Bailey Flavu, a long-range pass to Pizzi. It nearly worked out. We're going to have our first timeout of the game, and it's going to be called by Andre Ekayana for Indonesia. His team down 19 to 14, 2 minutes and 11 seconds left in the first term. Coming off a 51-point loss against China on the first night. Let's see what they can do here, what Andre has to say to his troops.
Kita mainin play-nya mereka. Angel. Ayu. Moment. Dita dribble, back door. Balik lagi. Habis itu Ayu minta bola pas. Ya. Pistol action. Screen. Ini screen kita. Ya, kalau dia switch, Angel screen lagi orangnya switch. Dapat bola, kita nggak nembak, itu balik lagi Angel. Ya. Ayu screen ke kita. Habis hand off, langsung screen ke kita. Angel 3 kali screen. Screen Ayu, screen kita lagi di atas.
I think he would be talking about some specific things on offense. They've had a couple of wayward shots out there, and they really want to execute and see what they can get out of their structures. Or, you know, if they can push the ball, but New Zealand's doing a good job in D-trans. I like the fact that Indonesia are in a zone, forcing perhaps New Zealand to take some more three-point shots. They only took 13 in the last game at 31 and only made 4 of them, so that could be a good strategy for them.
Good message from Andre Ekayana. Can his team capitalize out of the timeout? Chandra sends Whitaker to the deck. It didn't matter. Shearer now to Flavu. Dalton was calling for it, eventually found Whitaker. Sriata rebounds. Orville. Back to Gradita. Sriata. They all share it around here, Indonesia. It's nearly going to get through everyone's set of hands. Shot clock down to 5.
Oh, in and out.
Unfortunate, they were patient. Now New Zealand with an opportunity to extend their lead. Through Flavel, steps around Gradita. They get it back here, Indonesia. Orville sprinting away. Gradita can't find her at the moment. Finds Antonio instead. Just went a little too hot on the shot. A fast pace. Shearer gets slapped away from her. She'll head to the line for two. They've done well to curb her influence so far. This is her first real point scoring opportunity.
Well, the Tall Ferns are playing the way Nathurst would like them to play. So on a rebound, they're looking to push and to run. If they don't get a shot, then she wants things to be pulled back out and run some structure. So she wants to play fast, disciplined basketball.
Shearer gets the first free throw to go. Playing for Mackay in Queensland, Australia at the moment. Experience with the Portland Pilots overseas as well. Her first 2 points for the game.
So they're in an extended zone press.
Under a minute left now. New Zealand lead 21-14. Orville. The shot falls short. Hokianga. Back to Shearer. Crosses it to Dalton, to McGoldrick. Back on the floor. Athletic rebound. Tamilo nearly got the connection with Shearer, but Gradita took it away. Gave it to Antonio. New Zealand did well to get back. Sriaka did well to rebound. Back to Antonio, another attempt. Tamilo gets it away to Dalton. 3 seconds left here for Hokianga. Can she get the shot up in time? Doesn't matter. New Zealand come away with a first quarter lead over Indonesia. At the end of the first quarter, it's New Zealand 21, leading Indonesia 14. Well, we started the quarter quite hot, Laurie. We had a few threes in the game, and then Indonesia started missing some, and as a result, we see 3 from 14 from 2-point range, and that's how New Zealand decided to really capture their lead.
Well, exactly right. And I think some of the shot selection from Indonesia in particular in that last couple of minutes of the quarter just weren't ideal, and then that gave New Zealand the opportunity to get it and run and just create a little momentum that was going their way.
New Zealand, on the other hand, they're playing, like you said, how Nathurst wants them to play, a disciplined sort of game. They've copped some heavy hits in the meantime. They've been shooting well from the three-point line. They've been working hard, as we know New Zealand tend to do.
Well, they have. They've been sharing the ball. They've been going after the rebounds, second chance opportunities themselves. And they've been impressive at what they've brought. I'd still like to see them make sure they don't have any unforced turnovers. We saw Beck Pizzi throw it across court and was intercepted and fouled. And so those sort of things they just need to cut out of their game. But otherwise, I think it's been a really strong quarter from them. Indonesia, well, it's only a 7-point difference. They just have to make sure this second quarter, they come out strongly. And it'll be interesting to see if Kim Perry-Louis comes, and there we can see her that she is coming on the court. She's got 2 fouls, but they just look a lot more organized. They've got another scoring option in her, a great rebounder. So she's on the court again, but she certainly can't get another foul. And if I was New Zealand, I'd be attacking her straight away and trying to get her to pick up her 3rd foul straight away.
So a 7-point margin between New Zealand and Indonesia. The first of 3 games here in Shenzhen, China for the 2025 FIBA Women's Asia Cup. Tip off in the second quarter. New Zealand 21 leading Indonesia 14. Pierre-Louis has an early look from deep. And New Zealand come away with an opportunity to score the first points of the second quarter.
See, that's another, to me, a questionable shot. It's one pass. The defense haven't shifted at all, so you have really no chance to get them out of position and try and get an offensive rebound.
What can New Zealand do with it here? Dale has had a productive start to this game. Shearer to Pizzi. Contested shot, Pizzi manages to get it back, good hustle. That's the Rebecca Pizzi we know. So disciplined, hardworking. Pierre-Louis. Bryony finds some space. Still can't knock it down. Indonesia's shooting percentage is plummeted. Hokianga, Shearer finds some space all on her own. Good start here for the tall ferns.
And that's the difference right now, is New Zealand are nailing those shots, those open shots. Indonesia have had a few open shots, but just they aren't dropping for them at all.
15-5 in terms of defensive rebounds, as you just saw on the screen, in New Zealand's favour. Dale wasn't expecting it, caught it just in time. Tamilo stepping back, finding Dale once again. Shot clock down to 7 now for Hokianga. Pizzi gets to work. And she heads to the line for her troubles. Let's take a look at it on the replay here. Sends back Pizzi to the line. Playing in the semi-professional league in Australia at the moment.
Well, New Zealand shot the free throws at 57% the other night. Now you think of it, how close that game, a 2-point game, they shot 12 for 21. You make a couple more free throws and you win the game. So they really, it's an area that they've really been let down in that first game and so far this game.
And again, they still can't get the reward. Pizzi can't get the putback. Frustrating for New Zealand. Pierre-Louis showing her skills.
That's why they need her back on the court.
Hokianga to Dale.
Wow.
Sweet shot, McKenna Dale.
She came off of that pick, or set the pick and pop, and so quick on her release.
Wong Sahajo started for Indonesia. Back on the floor. Reverse, great finish. Her first points in the Asia Cup Division A. Shearer now, trying to get around Wong Sahajo on the offensive end. Whitaker came over the top of Pierre-Louis, but she stayed strong. Now she's off and running. Few bodies hit the deck. Pierre-Louis somehow gets it back. Soima, the fake, the shot. Falls short. Hokianga, the smallest one out there, gets the rebound. Whitaker shot a 3 from that range before. Dale inboard. Pizzi from the corner.
Wow, there you go. That's exactly what you want, how you want to play basketball. McKenna Dale punching it in, 2 feet in the paint. 3 Indonesian players collapsed on her, and she just sent it out to the wide open Pizzi in the corner.
Blown out to a 31-18 lead for New Zealand. Karen, Pierre-Louis, Soima. Back to Kim Pierre-Louis. Aritonan. Not quite. Alice Hokianga. Whitaker finds it. Back to Hokianga. Her shot falls short. Does well to try and keep the ball in New Zealand hands, and then it was a foul.
I'm really impressed the way Hokianga, at 17 years old, she just stepped off the court, but when she's pushing the ball up the floor, you could just see her eyes darting everywhere, looking to see where her players are. Can she kick it ahead? In that last instance, she went, no, I can't. I've just got to bring it out to a stop and run something. So really impressive for the young player.
We welcome Olivia Williams onto the floor for the first time in the 2025 FIBA Women's Asia Cup. Didn't suit up against Korea last game. Out there for New Zealand, Hassan, she's making a great start in her minutes here for Indonesia. Karen. Dalton. Still with Taylor Dalton, she finds Flavel. Goes to the line for two. Patient work there by Taylor Dalton. See on the replay here.
Great court vision by Dalton. She saw her player cutting baseline hard through the key, was able to find her, and now she's at the line. Oh, and another missed free throw.
McGoldrick also back out there for New Zealand. She was doing just a bit of fitness testing after that heavy hit on the sideline before. Flavel knocks one down from the free throw line. Hopefully for their sake, they start to drop now. Hassan gets it back from Pierre-Louis. Has to find a way around Dalton. Spinning, shooting. Wow. She's shown such great desperation throughout this whole tournament, Bella Hassan. There was that moment against China where she shot over the 220 centimeter, I think it is, Zhang Ziyu.
That has made a few highlight reels on social media, I tell you what, but she's going into her sophomore year at Southern Utah University, and she is just having a great start to her senior debut.
Just 168 centimeters, but doesn't matter because she's grabbing rebounds like that. Her size doesn't matter. Karen, Louis in the background still hasn't got up, feeling that ankle. Now she's going to hobble to the bench. This is not what you want if you're an Indonesia fan. Louis already in some foul trouble and now hobbles to the bench. Hopefully she's okay.
Well, in the lead up to this tournament, she was rehabbing that ankle and just hoping to be feeling okay and fit, and so let's hope she hasn't re-injured the same one.
Soima, meanwhile, gets Indonesia scoring back on track.
Well, they really needed that three to steady the ship. Now they need to come up with a couple of stops.
Whitaker for New Zealand. Flavel. Olivia Williams gets her first points for New Zealand. What a start for her. 15-point lead for that Hurst team. They force a jump ball. The arrow's pointing towards New Zealand.
New Zealand are being really patient in how they're working the ball around and just their decision making and kicking it to the open player.
Great desperation from both teams there. The timeout called on the floor. New Zealand leading this one 35 points to 20. 3 minutes 56 left in the second term, and Coach Nat Hurst, she wants to talk things over with her team, so we're going to head in very shortly and take a quick listen to what she has to say to her players.
timeout would just be purely for a couple of tweaks that she wants to make, maybe offensively. We heard her say pick and pop for Whitaker or Simons, I'm not sure, or Olivia Williams, but that's a timeout like that. You know, it was short, it was sharp, exactly what her players want to do. See if they can execute coming out of a timeout.
McGoldrick bringing the ball down. Dalton looking for one of her two bigs. Vicker sets a screen. Dalton ends up going all the way. Gradita takes the rebound. Soima up ahead with pace. Flavel got in her way. Did well to get back. Williams now moving it quickly. Whitaker back to Olivia Williams. A heavy hit on the way to the basket.
Gradita just seems to come up with the ball and burst down the court. That's 2 times in a row.
Hassan got it swatted away from her.
Substitution in New Zealand.
It's going to be a New Zealand ball. So Dalton did really well there. McKenna Dale back out onto the floor, and for the first time today, we're seeing Ella Tofaiuno. McGoldrick. Somehow escaped with a shot. 3 minutes left in this one. A 35-20 lead for New Zealand. Captain Ezra McGoldrick takes it from the baseline. Tofaiuno. To Dalton. McGoldrick. Back out to Taylor Dalton. That is all money. Scoring dried up a bit previously before that. Antonio, she gets the instant response.
Well, you knew she was eventually going to hit one of those. She's a 3-point specialist.
Dalton this time goes inboard to Tofaiuno. McGoldrick rolling to the basket. And gets an opportunity to try and lift New Zealand's free throw rate. Just 4 from 9 for the night tonight.
Really took care of the ball as she spun around. There were hands everywhere, but she used her strength and ability and kept hold of the ball.
Angelique Oritanon back out on the floor. Goldrick, another miss. Again. Just rattles out of the basket. Antonio, does she go back to back? She does!
That is a classic example of a shooter's mentality.
Anita Antonio starting to feel it. Indonesia closed the margin here, 38-26, just under 2 minutes left in the opening half. McGoldrick loses the ball. Indonesia ball. And for the first time tonight, we're going to see Ashley Strawbridge make her way out onto the floor. Gradita, again with that signature pace. Rockets up the other end of the floor. Antonio, she's feeling hot at the moment. Can't get that one to go. Tofaiuno with the rebound. Shearer. Dale. 14. Foul caught it amongst all that. Indonesia Indonesia ball. Tofayono was the one who committed the foul. Just trying to get in the way there of Gradita. We'll have another timeout on the floor here in Shenzhen. A minute 14 left. New Zealand leading 38-26. This time timeout called by Andre Ekayana. We'll go into his huddle to see what he has to say to his players.
Theo, Andy, dia press kan? Ini minta bola, ini Angel. Kalau bisa, bagus. Kalau nggak bisa, kasih ke CEO aja. Lanjutin mainnya, Dita ke sini, Dita masuk, Angelnya udah di atas. Screen ke Dita. Mainnya langsung one side di sebelah kiri, ya. Jadi CEO kalau nggak bisa lagi, balik lagi. Dita kan bakal datang ke sini, Angelnya di sini, Dita sama.
So a minute 14 left in this game. 38 plays 26. Indonesia have got on a bit of a run with the 2 back-to-back threes from Antonio. New Zealand scoring dried up a little bit since that 3 from Zoltan. Let's see which team can finish off the half stronger. Gradita to inbound from the baseline. Thought about the long range pass, then went to Ritonang. Dale swatted it away. Always interesting to see when both teams come out and play out of a timeout, Laurie.
Well, every player is in the front court right now.
Shearer hit the deck in the background. Another foul called here. So Indonesia committed another foul. Dalton gets it back from Strawbridge. Tofayono, great find to Shearer. Oh, they just couldn't finish it off. That was probably their best look for the game. Gradita rolling on Dalton. Orville sets their chances inboard. Oh, somehow pulling her own shot. Just couldn't get the finish we probably deserved. Dalton now gets around Antonio. Then finds Dale at the top on the 3-point line. Tofayono finds Dale, who finds Dalton. Hit one already from that spot. Can't go back to back. They reset. Dale long range 3. That one's short as well. Tofayono fouls. The second already in the game.
Well, I think Indonesia were pretty lucky. If you give a team like New Zealand 3 chances to shoot a 3-ball with the great shooters out there like Dale and Shearer, Dalton.
Gradita has to get it in. She does. You can see Pierre-Louis doing some tests on her ankle on the sidelines. Hopefully she's okay to come out in the second half. Orville driving in. Limited time left. Does New Zealand get a shot up? Strawbridge, Dalton has to put it up. Doesn't get it off in time. New Zealand take a lead into halftime here in Shenzhen in China. At halftime, the score is New Zealand 38, leading Indonesia 26. So the stats on our screen at the moment, both teams, the shooting's gone down a bit after a hot start from the 3-point line. You can see both teams struggling from two-point range. Free throws, New Zealand really struggling. The rebounds they're doing well, and the assists there, Laurie.
Well, it is, and again, the thing that stands out to me is the turnovers for New Zealand, 10. Yes, they've got a 12-point lead, but it's just an area that they need to really work on if they want to keep contending and challenge the top teams in the Asia area.
Top scorers for each team. Pizzi leading all comers with 7. Pierre-Louis, Antonio, and McGoldrick, and also Dale also on the 6 points.
I feel like both teams really are sharing the load. There's not somebody who could just go, they're dominating this quarter or this play. I feel like there's been contributors on both ends from both teams, and second opportunities for New Zealand have been good. They've been really patient with that. A couple of reverse layups we've seen by Indonesia, by Wang Soeharto and Kim Pierre-Louis.
Kizzy's been strong throughout the game, the top scorer. That was a sweet 3. And then McKenna Dale, she's had some nice looks. Missed out on a few occasions late in the second term. Made a sweet shot.
Sorry, I thought New Zealand did a good job of recognizing whether Indonesia were in a zone or playing, you know, one-on-one defense. And so they showed a lot of patience and poise in that. And I thought they worked the ball around when they were in a zone, and got the inside-outside type of game, and we're really good in that regard.
Education, health, justice. We sometimes take these simple things for granted. They're not common for all of us. We are all born on the same planet, but not with the same opportunities.
Whatever our gender, color, belief, or capability, we are one. We are all on the same team. Let's convince those who never thought they'd do it that they can. We can. Together, we are stronger. No matter your origin, basketball can bring everyone together. Basketball for good.
The volume out there is increasing as the shot clock ticks down to 1. Park Ji-han beats the buzzer.
Park Ji-han showed all the poise in the world.
Hogg finds some space, glides in. Oh, denied by McGoldrick.
She just came out of nowhere to reject that shot.
Oh, Zar on the reverse. Very nice finish. Off and running. She has Horn up ahead once again, and she's in the right spot, right time. Sugapong gets it back to De Jesus, puts it up. Japan escape once again. Her first points of the Asia Cup. Gets it off in time, reads the buzzer. It's all Australia once again here in Shenzhen. Can De Jesus take advantage? Gets it to Anima, denied by Bauli. welcome back to Shenzhen, where it's New Zealand leading Indonesia by 12 points at halftime. The top scorer for New Zealand is Rebecca Pizzi with 7 points. She's come off 11 points against Korea yesterday. And in her debut tournament for New Zealand, she's showing us what she's made of, Laurie.
Yeah, she brings a really good energy and smarts to the team, and a bit of composure as well. So she's an experienced campaigner. She brings some leadership to the team. She really only got her naturalized passport very early, and so she really met the team over here, so introducing herself to her teammates, but she slotted in beautifully into this lineup, and what she can bring has been excellent.
Long-time stalwart of the WNBL in Australia. Crosses over to New Zealand and is making an impact. Top scorer for Indonesia at the moment, Kim Pierre-Louis with the 6 points. Also Clanita Antonio with 6 points, it must be said as well. But for Kim Pierre-Louis, they need her out there. We know she's got a bit of an ankle issue at the moment. She's got the foul trouble. Not too bad at the moment with 2, but it was 2 early fouls. They need to keep her out there if they're a chance of getting this lead back here, Laurie.
Well, it'll be certainly interesting to see if she hits the court come this second half, because that injury in the past has been fairly serious. So, you know, there's a few games ahead of them as well, but this is still a very gettable game. And yes, you're right, they do need her on the court to be a presence inside, scoring, rebounding, and then just steadying the ship when they've got the ball.
So halftime, New Zealand lead this one 38-26, a 12-point margin between these two teams. 26th ranked New Zealand facing off against the 57th ranked Indonesia. Both teams have one more game left in their pool games. Indonesia facing Korea on Wednesday. New Zealand, they face China after this game. Japan and Australia will go head-to-head along with China and Korea. So 2 massive rivalries coming to life here on a Tuesday afternoon in Shenzhen. It'll be great viewing, but for now we turn our attention back to New Zealand and Indonesia. And New Zealand, they're back out on the floor warming up for the second half. Turnovers have been an issue, and so too have the missed free throws, Laurie.
Well, those 2 things stand out as the negatives, but the positive is they're shooting 50% from the 3-point line, 8 from 16, and that's a good result for them. So those other ones, the assists, the foul shooting, I mean, you're not going to change your foul shooting probably overnight, but certainly the turnovers you can work on trying to eliminate. But when we talk about this whole, these 2 teams and what this game means, it's really important to recognize that in the pool system here, that whoever finished top goes automatically in the semifinals. So that fight for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, you don't want to finish 4th, because that means that you're playing against the other 4th place team for relegation into Division B. So really important that you try and get a win along the way and not finish 4th. And then 2nd and 3rd, well, that's a battle as well, because you cross over with the other pool. So each game, as the week goes on, just rises in importance.
Kim Pierre-Louis, we can see her out there warming up with Indonesia, so hopefully that's a good sign that she can continue in this game. She's leading the way with 6 points, Sliata there with the 4 rebounds, and Sawima with the 2 assists. They've continued to show that good signature spirit that we love about Indonesia, and they've hung around. They've had a few missed shots, some poor shot choices here and there, but they've hung around, they've kept the margin close, and they can attack New Zealand here in the second half.
Well, that's right. I've been impressed with them against China, and even here tonight. They're not overawed by any situation. They feel comfortable here. You can see that it's still new to them, the physicality, the speed of the game. You can see when New Zealand puts the ball on the floor that they're able to get around the Indonesian players sometimes. So just the speed you have the foot speed you need to be able to move laterally defensively, the pace up and down the court, although we've seen great speed by Gradita just getting the ball and pushing it. But it's a different ball game in Division A, and I think they're coping very, very well.
See McGoldrick just off screen at the moment. She's not warming up with the team. She's just having a rest. Hopefully, she just resumes to come back on. She copped a heavy hit as well. So there's been a bit of physicality in this game. Both teams have copped a bit of hits. As result. New Zealand's been sent to the free throw line a few times as well. We've obviously spoken about how they haven't capitalised on their opportunities, but it is hard for them backing up from a big game against Korea yesterday. They just lost that one by 2 points. You obviously got the heartbreak to deal with mentally, but also physically too.
Well, and it was, you know, the late game, it was one of the ones where, as a coaching staff, they have to go, okay, you know, we have to review that to see where we can better, but at the same time, you have to move on quickly. You just can't, you know, games, they had to get up for Indonesia today and another game tomorrow, so it just doesn't stop, and they have to, and I think they've done a great job. I think they look like they're up and about, they look positive, and that's the great thing about tournament play is that, yes, you lose a game, but you're up there the next day to make amends, and that's exactly what it looks like for New Zealand today. I've been impressed with the way they've come out.
Indonesia obviously had a rest day yesterday. On the first night, they lost by 51 points against China, which looks bad on paper, but as you mentioned, they weren't overawed by the occasion. Pierre-Louis was 16 points in that game. Antonio and Karen and Soima and Gradita with the 6 points rounding it out. Antonio already up to 6 points for this game, so she's equal to scoring for the entire 4 quarters, just did 2 quarters here. She's been attempting a lot of three-pointers. You sense that once one starts hitting, they'll all start flowing for her.
Well, that's the thing, and you know she's never going to die wondering whether that went in or not. And if she gets on a hot streak, it could really make a difference. But in that game against China, 10 out of their 12 players hit the score sheet, which is a really good sign. And equally against for New Zealand versus Korea, 10 out of their 12 players hit the score sheet. So you can see there's, you know, contributions all over, which is indicative of this game as well today.
I think it's indicative of the whole tournament as well. We've seen a lot of teams use their rosters and their benches all really well, and a lot of players across each team have got on the score sheet, which has been great to see.
Well, it's such a good opportunity, and this Asia Cup and the teams show there's such a mixture of youth and experience, and for the players that are coming in brand new, like Hassan here for Indonesia, it's just a great experience to be up against some really top-notch players. They learn, they grow. The veterans then are in a teaching mode and helping, but also in a winning mode, so it's got it all right now.
You can scan the QR code on your screen to get the Courtside 1891 app, where you can watch live streams, extended highlights, and stay up to date with the world of international basketball.
And it's good to see Pierre-Louis on the court, so it'll be interesting to see how mobile she is, whether her ankle will restrict her at all.
Getting ready to go for the second half here in Shenzhen in China. Welcome back to Shenzhen in China for the second half between Indonesia and New Zealand. New Zealand 38, leading Indonesia 26. Julia Montesano and Laurie Chuzik with you in commentary. Planita Antonio has an early look. Pierre-Louis can't get the finish. Good offensive rebounds. Sliata's been great on the boards. Gradita, Soima. McGoldrick, also good to see her out there. She popped a heavy hit in the first period. Collided with Sriata. Gets it back here. Turns around, knocks it down.
There was really good player movement off the ball, keeping other defenders active, and that was through them as they cut through the key and left McGoldrick wide open.
Antonio to Sriata. Tries to get it done on the offensive end now. Shira can't keep it in. So Indonesia ball. Antonio desperate to shoot. Not the right choice. Again, Shira goes over the head of Dalton. So both teams a bit rusty to start this second half. Hurst on screen. First Asia Cup here, coaching New Zealand. Soima runs into Pizzi, doesn't get the shot off. Sriata fouls Dale. It's free-flowing right at the start of the game, and now it's a bit stop-start. Both teams have a bit of tired legs out there.
Well, neither team have really been given the opportunity to get into any sort of rhythm.
Dalton now with an opportunity to McGoldrick. Dale has looked for the three-point shot a lot this game. Dalton, the tough shot. Pizzi, the good putback. New Zealand's leading scorer continues to shine here tonight. Radita gets it back from Pierre-Louis. Antonio. Pizzi knew what she was going to do, and as a result, Shearer comes away with it. Tucks it back to Dale, and then into McGoldrick. Fouled on the way through.
So the ball movement and player movement by New Zealand right now are really forcing Indonesia to rotate and get out of position, and then they're really, you know, they're fouling. They've already got a couple in this quarter.
Second foul for Soima, and Wong Sahajo will replace Antonio. Antonio's gone 2 from 10 from the field. 6 points to her name, still a good effort. McGoldrick to inbound. Pizzi to Shearer. McGoldrick turning. Good defense there, Pierre-Louis. You know she has to be careful with those 2 fouls. Radita. Back to Kim Pierre-Louis. Wants to go behind the back. McGoldrick was right there with her. Takes up towards the other end. New Zealand ball from the baseline. Swatted away from Ezra McGoldrick. Good hands there from Wong Sahajo. Chandra now replacing Kim Pierre-Louis. McGoldrick to Dalton. Back to Ezra McGoldrick. Dale's strong rebound. Foul on the floor, won't count the shot. So baseline ball for New Zealand, they lead 42-26. Shearer came off a mammoth performance against Korea yesterday. Pizzi fouled. She's played a clever game.
Well, she did. She did a good job of getting herself inside there and holding that seal against her smaller opponent, and a good angled pass to get into her because she was quite a ways under the basket.
9 points and 9 rebounds for Rebecca Pizzi, so verging in on her first double-double for New Zealand. But again, the free throws just go astray for New Zealand.
And you would assume that Beck Pizzi will get better and better as each game goes on, as she becomes more familiar with her teammates, with her coach, with what she's expected to do, the structures.
Wong Sahajo to Chandra. Wants to get it back. Radika. Quick step. Finds Wong Sahajo in the corner. Sriata again on the boards. She's being relentless. Chandra has a look. Shot was too short. The New Zealand ball after Dale hit the deck. 43 plays 26. In Indonesia ball, my apologies. Soima. Quite what she was aiming to do. So Karen back out onto the floor. A bit of composure here for Indonesia. Sliata should be proud of her minutes in this game. And Hokianga will replace Dale out there for New Zealand. So a bit of a smaller lineup on the court now. Gradita. Here is Karen. Can't make an impact instantly. Shearer has McGoldrick running up ahead, catches it just in time, but Chandra was right there with her to take it away. Pizzi, excellent hustle. Great assist to McGoldrick.
Well, that was exactly the right idea. McGoldrick was streaming down point of the rim. Just couldn't quite control it, but stayed with the play, and Beck Pizzi.
Karen gets it from Gradita. Behind the back, Gradita to Chandra. That's better for Indonesia.
That was a great little move by Gradita. And a nice finish by Chandra. They need a little bit more of that action.
McGoldrick goes from long range this time. She's feeling good this third quarter. New Zealand's lead all of a sudden out to 20. McGoldrick has 13 points. Her second triple for the game. Gradita. Again, trying to use her skills to find Wongsa Harjo. Indonesia ball there. Whitaker's going to replace McGoldrick for a well-deserved rest.
Gradita's doing a great job of, with her speed, with her handles, getting her feet in the paint, and then collapsing the defense and kicking it out to you know, one of her teammates wide open on the three-point line.
Yeah, Louis back out there for Indonesia. Soima. A few shots from them have just fallen short in their second and third quarter. At least they're rotating their players well, Indonesia. They're getting a lot of legs out there. Aritonang now out there on the floor. Dalton through the legs of Shearer. Shearer had a massive game yesterday. She scored 7 of the last 9 points of the game for New Zealand when they went on that 9-0 scoring run.
Oh, there were some clutch baskets in that time.
Wongsa Harjo, can she get a clutch basket of her own? Not this time. Pizzi again, underneath it all. Dalton, it gets swatted away from her by Gradita. Officially a double-double confirmed for Rebecca Pizzi. 10 points and 10 rebounds. Her first double-double in New Zealand colours. She comes off for a well-deserved break. Bailey Flavel enters the court alongside Vittoria Tamilo. Shearer now. Can't get her own rebound. Pierre Louis was strong. Spinning around Whitaker, that's a tough finish. Hokianga now for New Zealand. Finds Shearer, steps into the three and knocks it down.
You have to say their three-point shooting has certainly improved from the game yesterday.
Good for New Zealand for Shearer to find some rhythm after her heroics yesterday. Whitaker fouls Pierre-Louis. She's won her past 2 battles against Whitaker now. The score on the offensive end before, and now it's the line. McKenna Dale back out there to replace Shearer. Shearer hits the bench with 7 points and 3 rebounds. Pierre Louise sitting at 8 points. Make that 9 points for the game. 4 rebounds of her own. The team down by 20. That one just misses. And although they're down by that margin, good to see them celebrating the little things like that. The calls going their way, the bench getting up and about and energized. And there'll be a timeout for them to talk it all over. 51 plays 31, 3 minutes 50 left in the third. We'll see what Coach Andre Ekayana has to say to his players. We'll take you in for a listen now.
Angie. Waktu Bella bilang go, ini ya kesini. Kesini. Karen. Kalau kosong kasih. Tapi mereka bakalan switch. Game. Use screen. Boom. Cari Angie. After screen. Roll. Ya. Lagi. 5, 3, 4, 2. Screen, Karen. Lady ke sini. 5 screen go. Angie cari. Let's go wide, please. Let's go, Mel. Let's go. Team on 2, 1, 2, 3. Karen, kalau pasang. Let's go.
Still some good energy out there, like we mentioned, for Indonesia. But the spotlight right now is on Rebecca Pizzi. Confirmed the double-double, 10 points and 10 rebounds. A great achievement for her in her first tournament for New Zealand. Coming off 11 points, 4 rebounds and 2 assists against Korea. She's matched the rebounds with the points this game. Aritonang steps back. Too short. Hokianga has to be careful here. Karen right there with her. Hokianga remains with the play. Whittaker came from behind.
I think Karen thought she just did enough on that spin move to be able to finish strongly, and out of nowhere, Whittaker with the block.
Get out of my way, says Whittaker. From Sahajo, a quick move, that's better.
And that's something she can do. We haven't seen enough of it from her this tournament so far. Put the ball to the floor and attack the rim aggressively.
4 points for her in this game now. Flavel and Hokianga both out there. 2 youngsters for New Zealand, to another youngster in Tamilo. Somehow it is back with Flavel. It was a good move. Tamilo kicked it out. Hokianga. The three-point shooting continues for New Zealand.
Really smart for New Zealand on those O boards. Kick it out to the waiting three-point shooters.
Palace Hokianga bet the shot clock just in time. A really patient set there from New Zealand. What do Indonesia have left to respond? Hassan trying to step around the guards of New Zealand. Flavel runs up ahead. Karen taps it out of bounds. A great set of passes here from New Zealand. And Palace Hokianga, just 17 years old, lighting it up on the big stage here in Shenzhen. Jump ball out there on the floor. It will remain with New Zealand. Gradita replaces Wong Sahajo out there. Gradita's provided great energy in her 17 minutes so far. Good to see her work out there with Bella Hassan too. Dale to Flavel. Back to Dale and then into Tamilo. Gets it taken away from her. Good defense there from Indonesia. Hassan up against the taller Dale, and Dale did exactly what she had to do.
Little smile on her face going, yeah, I'm not sure if I expected that or not.
So some subs here for New Zealand. McGoldrick and Pizzi both enter the floor. Tamilo and Whitaker take a seat.
You look at the length of the New Zealand team on right now with Pizzi, McGoldrick, Dale.
Pizzi with another rebound. Flavel. McGoldrick and Dale share it around. Indonesia get it back. 2 minutes left in the third. 54 plays 33. 2 more subs for New Zealand now. Shearer and Dalton replace Hokianga and Flavel. So the 2 young guards head off, and the 2 more seasoned ones head onto the floor. And by season, I mean Shearer's 23 and Dalton's 23 too,
yeah.
So not that experienced in the scheme of things, but experience for the New Zealand lineup. Yeah, Louis Aritanan. Hassan, good hustle. A foul call. A New Zealand ball. Hassan is just full of beans at the moment. Just trying her luck.
Great future for her and for Indonesian basketball. And we talked about how she plays over in the US in the NCAA, Southern Utah University. And I read a story that she really got discovered because her brother is a famous military person or fighter. Or
Yeah, MMA fighter.
yeah,
that's
yeah.
right.
And so he became more famous, which means all of a sudden she was mentioned in articles, and that the coaches sort of took notice and gone, oh, where's she? What's she doing? So interesting way to make your path into the Indonesian team. And she's never played any juniors, and this is, you know, stepping into her first role, and she's been very impressive.
Exactly right. A few Instagram DMs and you're in the national team. So it's crazy how the world works these days. They found a great school for her to attend as well in Southern Utah University. Shearer, can she put the second one through? Indonesia now in the bonus. So as a result, Shearer went to the line. This is New Zealand's biggest lead of the game, 22 points. Yeah, Louis can't reduce the margin. New Zealand ball, Bella Hassan. Cannot believe it. She got a warning there for her attitude. Just getting used to the refereeing of international basketball there, Bella Hassan. Unfortunately, you've got to be a bit more composed when you're reacting to refereeing decisions. Dale, Pizzi, McGoldrick.
I was just about to say New Zealand were very, very disciplined in their offense there and their structures, and the cut, McGoldrick just did a curl cut, and as it was a great pass just a bit ahead of her, and she just moved her pivot foot.
So another foul called on the floor. Indonesia ball. Orville back out there after a long spell on the bench. Gradita with that signature pace. Just manages to keep it in. Louis now. A quick spin on McGoldrick. Hassan did everything she could to try and get that rebound, but Dale is off and running. Shearer. Under a minute left here. What can New Zealand conjure up? Big reaction on the Indonesia bench. Great to see them celebrating the little wins. Pizzi there fouling Orville. And they can finish the third quarter on a high here, Indonesia. 50 seconds left to work with. Hassan to Gradita. Dumps it into Pierre-Louis. Spinning on Dale. And she gets fouled. She has had to work super hard for her baskets this game, Kim Pierre-Louis.
Well, she has. And since she's come back on court, every time she gets the ball, New Zealand are doubling her. And the thing is that her teammates need to move around on the perimeter so that she can distribute the ball. She's a smart player. She's got good IQ. But right now she's sort of having to take it herself. And we know she likes a spin move, so New Zealand have recognized that, and the defender's coming across to take that away.
Pierre-Louis puts the first shot down. Up to double digits now, the only Indonesian player in double digits. It's the same story last game against China as well. Hits both free throws. Flavel now gets the chance to close out the quarter. Dalton to Shearer. Guarded by Hassan. Shot clock in single digits. McGoldrick launches. McGoldrick's up to 16 points for the game. Her third triple. 10 seconds here for Indonesia. Can they finish out the third quarter well? Gradita with the crossover, then Orville with the three-point attempt. It was the right play, just couldn't convert the score. New Zealand continue to lead in this one. At the end of the third quarter, it's New Zealand 58, leading Indonesia 35. So New Zealand open up their biggest lead of the game, a 23-point margin. Shooting stats still aren't great for Indonesia, but the three-point shooting for New Zealand, it's been a big improvement, Lauren.
It has, and that's the big standout for me. And it's the three-point shooting, yes, but they're getting wide open looks. So they're doing a great job of getting their feet in the paint, going downhill, attracting defenders. Indonesia's defense isn't the best when it comes to rotation, and they're just being able to find the open player and take really smart shots and relatively open, easy shots. And having said that, you have to nail them though, and that's exactly what they're doing at 55%.
And it's also been their hustle and their grind. We've seen Beck Pizzi with the double-double. McGoldrick's got to work in this third term as well. So it's got a bit of the ingredients of their hard-working, disciplined game, but also, I wouldn't say the surprise factor, but you know, the increased three-point shooting as well to go with it.
Well, that combined with the attitude that they come out with this game, given that they had that close loss and you know, they needed to erase that and come out today. It's been really impressive. They've played as a team. They've played some good defense, forced Indonesia into some, you know, wayward shots and got the rebound, ran, which is an ingredient that they want to make sure they've got in their game. So overall, it's been an excellent team performance so far.
You can scan the QR code on your screen to get the Courtside 1891 app, where you can watch live streams, extended highlights, and stay up to date with the world of international basketball. Big finish coming up here in Shenzhen. Up next, it's Japan taking on Australia, and then China and Korea rounding out a big night here in China for the 2025 FIBA Women's Asia Cup. Tip off in the fourth term.
Opportunity for New Zealand to show something different, work on a zone, be active, talk.
Leading this one 58-35. Shearer collects the rebound. Has McGoldrick up ahead, too hot on the pass. Nice idea though. Gradita. Hassan. Indonesia struggling to break through New Zealand zone. Karen spins around. She usually usually loves that spot. That shot just fell short. McGoldrick steps into the three. Follows a shot. Shearer couldn't get it up.
Great blocking out by Orville.
Now Indonesia get another opportunity. Dalton with the active hands. Foul was called. Indonesia with another opportunity here.
Well, Indonesia need to make sure that they don't just swing the ball around on the perimeter. They need to get it inside like they did the last time to Karen at the free throw line area.
There we go, that's a good start. The long range two from Karen. Dalton electing to move it a bit slower this time around. Shearer, Pizzi, and now McGoldrick just falls out of her hands. Indonesia ball. Could see Nat Hurst calling for a challenge in the corner of my eye. We'll see if the referees permit it. Just coming together for a bit of a chat, and they will challenge it. So we will head inside and see how the referees assess this one.
About out of bound. Can you show me, please? So we are going to review what team because the ball outbound. Again. Now black. The other one from front, if you have. Black, still black. Okay, the ball, after review, call remaining white ball. This way.
So again, great access from the referees. It remains an Indonesia ball, an unsuccessful challenge for New Zealand. As we know in FIBA, if the challenge is unsuccessful or successful, the coaches only have one, so you really do have to make it count. Dalton pops a hit, but keeps on moving. Gets it back from Flavel. McGoldrick. Flavel tries to kick it in, but Orville knew exactly what she was doing. Hassan, she's got three taller players ahead of her, so just sets back, gets it to Gradita, and now Karen steps in. Athletic rebound from Shearer. Gets on the move. Great find.
Great pass by Shearer to Beck Pizzi. Really good vision. Pizzi cutting to the basket. Nice find, nice finish.
You just have to sit back and admire it. Orville. Quick step there on Flavel, and then again on Dalton. Manages to stay in. Gradita. Good defense there by Flavel. Dalton with some speed. Oh, it was a heavy hit. Orville hits the floor.
That was a really heavy hit right in front of our commentary setup here. Could just hear her head knock.
Heavy screen there from McGoldrick. We're going to have a few changes here for Indonesia. Chandra, Sliata, Soima, Pierre Louis, Karen, Orville, Hassan go off. Wong Sahaja, the fourth player on the court, and then for New Zealand, Olivia Williams back out there. She replaces Flavel. Bit of extra height out there on the floor now for the Tall Ferns. Soima scoops it to Gradita, then gets it back. 3-point shot, not good. McGoldrick holds on to the rebound. Dalton pushing the pace. Does she go all the way? Gets taken away from her. Good pace by Indonesia to keep right there with her. Wong Sahajo, Soima needs to get on the move, she does. And then gets it back to Wong Sahajo. They share it around. Again, they need to find the pass inwards. Soima from the corner. Good rebound, Chandra, but McGoldrick swats it away. Dalton. Shearer. Williams. Pizzi. Foul call.
Again, you see that poise by New Zealand just... Oh, well that's...
Oh, yeah, New Zealand thought the call was for them, but it'll be an Indonesia ball.
I think it was the hook around as she was maybe trying to post up.
Whitaker back out there for New Zealand. Wong Sahajo crosses over McGoldrick. Wong Sahajo all the way!
But I said that in the last quarter. She needs to do that more. She's capable of it. She's got a good first quick step.
That was lethal. Adelaide Wong Sahajo. A nice highlight there for Indonesia. Forces a timeout on the floor. New Zealand call it, leading 60-39, 6 minutes remaining in the fourth term. Just the 6 points so far in the fourth term, so the scoring has dried up a tad for both teams. We know that's what happens with young teams. The tired legs come into play, but New Zealand can take confidence that they take a lead and they'll hopefully hold on for their sake and get their first win.
Well, that's what they're aiming for, is to get that first win and to make amends for their 2-point loss against Korea, and then they'll, you know, be focused on the next task at hand.
China. Doesn't get easier, does it?
It certainly doesn't.
So that game coming up tomorrow. Indonesia face Korea tomorrow as well. So,
and that's where you look at the, you know, we talked about the importance of this game in particular, because if it goes as predicted with China finishing first, and if New Zealand's able to beat Indonesia, because Korea's already beaten New Zealand,
yes,
it at least means that New Zealand will finish in that third spot and force Indonesia. So really, whoever won this game was probably looking at finishing in third spot.
So far, it looks like it's going in the way of New Zealand.
Having said that, Korea still played China, and
yes,
you know, we're not making absolute assumptions, but just based on predictions.
Yes. Whitaker gets things started here for New Zealand out of the timeout. A lot of noise out there at the moment. Williams, McGoldrick. Shot clock ran out. There wasn't any awareness from the New Zealand team there.
Well, that's certainly a little win for Indonesia. Tick, not exactly excited about that.
She's a bit shell-shocked herself.
Bit bemused.
Chandra now. Finds Soima. Wong Sahajo. Dishes it into Chandra. It falls away from her hands, and New Zealand get a chance to respond. Coach Andre Ekayana. His first Asia Cup Division A tournament. McGoldrick, the New Zealand captain. Hokianga finds Dale. Into Williams. Swings it. It ends up with Hokianga. McGoldrick couldn't get the putback, but she got fouled. Not much else you can do with her long arms.
Well, look at the height New Zealand have when they huddle up there. Four of them, all of them really similar height, and what that means at the defensive end too is that they can really switch aggressively, which you've seen them doing. They've done a great job of talking through those switches anytime there's a screen set, and it's a real luxury to have.
McGoldrick now the leading scorer on the floor with 16 points to go with 6 rebounds and 3 assists. She's now up to 17 points. A great leader for this New Zealand team. Coming off 10 points, 5 rebounds and 4 assists against Korea. Izzy will now replace her on the floor. Izzy with a double-double, 12 points and 12 rebounds in her 22 minutes. Soima couldn't catch it in time. Before it went over. Hokianga. Williams, Dale. Whitaker. We say it's a pass to Pizzi. That'll be a travel call. Everyone was thinking travel foul, travel foul.
The spacing wasn't great in that instance for New Zealand, and you have to make sure that if you're going to penetrate, you need the spacing and just a little bit of two-way traffic there.
Wong Sahajo. Came off her foot. New Zealand ball. 62 plays 39.
It's really important in these last 4.5 minutes for both teams that they maintain their focus, get something out of it, because there's still important games to come up for, you know, Indonesia. It might be that relegation promotion game, you know, where they really need to. So they need to be making sure they're disciplined in this. And for New Zealand, well, they want to make sure that they're improving every time they step on the court. They're a young team, they're a new group, new coach. And so to remain focused and get something out of these last 4 minutes.
Pizzi looks for Dale, who looks for Hokianga. Finds Dale once again. Sriata back out there and taking rebounds. Hassan. Chandra. Fouled on the way through.
Chandra's another new player to Indonesia, 20 years old. She's got nice size with her, and she'll develop and continue to keep developing.
Few subs enter the floor. Strawbridge and Ungraini out there for the two teams. Chandra at the line. Came off 3 points and 3 rebounds against China. Gets her 3rd point of the night here. She's got the 2 rebounds. That one just rattles out. So New Zealand ball, foul on Ungraini. Antonio resumes back out on the floor, returns back out on the floor, I should say. 2 from 10 from the field for her, 6 points. Can't say she hasn't died trying. Hokianga. Williams. Strawbridge now. Williams. Back to Strawbridge. 2 players have had limited minutes for New Zealand. Let's see what they can produce here. Whitaker's got to put it up and beats the shot clock.
Really good poise and patience again by the New Zealand team. They didn't panic. Clock was ticking down. Almost got deflected.
Chandra finds Aritanan. Strawbridge reaches in. So 2 shots to come here for Ritonang. Both teams in the bonus in the remaining 3 minutes and 13 seconds of this game. Gets her first points of the game and for the tournament. Angelique Ritonang coming off the 2 rebounds against China. Nice moment for her. Good cheering on from the bench, we can hear. Every player is so loved on that team. Kizzy comes off the floor for Tofaiono.
Am I correct, Julia, that Indonesia's winning this quarter?
I'll double check
Have I got those stats wrong? Well, not anymore with that 3-point shot.
That's right, they were winning at 7-6 before that, and then Whitaker said, I'll take the lead back.
Exactly.
A nice little purple patch from her. She hit that clutch 2 to beat the shot clock and then drain the 3. They're walking the floor now for an Indonesia foul. Hassan has 2 shots, 3 minutes to go in the game. Hassan's first points of the game. Good to see the bench cheering on every single point. Shot falls short. Another foul called, so both teams are going to be walking back and forth potentially for the remainder of the game. Hassan has another opportunity from the line now. Indonesia scored 51 against China. They'd love to top that scoring in this game.
Exactly. That would be a good goal for them.
Definitely gettable. 43 at the moment. 3 minutes left. Make that 44 now.
And their foul shooting has been excellent. 10 from 12 right now.
Definitely won the game in that stat. And now poor Hassan's going to go play on very tall, 178 centimetre Ashley Strawbridge. Williams knocks down the 3. It's raining 3s for New Zealand now. What a clip they've shot at from long range in this game. Antonio likes the look of it, but that one falls well short. It's been the theme for her, unfortunately, this game.
Well, it's a real turnaround, as we mentioned early on. In game 1, New Zealand shot the 3 ball at 31%, 4 from 13, and right now they are 14 from 27 at 52%.
Indonesia hold on to the rebound. Hassan's been active. Still with Bella Hassan. She's patient, but there was too much tall timber in front of her in that occasion. Strawbridge brings down the ball. Gets it back to Hokianga. Confronted by 2 Indonesia players there. Strawbridge finds herself wide open and another one drops. Strawbridge with her first 3 of the tournament. Had the 1 point against China, her first field goal in fact. Williams collects the rebound. Hokianga. Tofaiono. Strawbridge finds Ala Tofaiono. That's great. Big to big action.
Really high, low, kept it high in the air. The pass, Tofaiono didn't bring it down at all, just kept it high in the air and was able to finish no problem.
A little 8-0 run for New Zealand. The last minute of the game. Tofaiono again with the active hands. Finds Hokianga. They go for another three here, New Zealand. Williams finding Whitaker, who finds Strawbridge. Tofayono again, this time she's surrounded. Whitaker sets, doesn't hit it. Hokianga can reset things. Whitaker collides with Hassan. It'll be an Indonesia ball. 30-point margin for New Zealand, 22.4 seconds left in the game. It'll be a first win for Nat Hurst's team and for Nat Hurst herself in Asia Cup. And they're cheering and disputing every call right to the end. 17.9 remaining now for Indonesia to finish on a high note. They'll go to 0-2, unfortunately, after a defeat against China on Sunday night. Aritanong gets it stolen away by Hokianga. The clock ticks down to 3. Does she get it off in time? She does, but the shot was short. It is a win for New Zealand, nonetheless. Their first win of the tournament. And the final score here in Shenzhen is New Zealand 75, defeating Indonesia 45. A great performance from New Zealand to bounce back from the heartbreak of yesterday's loss against Korea. They went down by 2 points thanks to a Park Ji-soo clutch finish. And today, they got the job done. It was a 3-point party, which was the theme of the day, Laurie, and it was great to see. Good of them to get a win.
Well, it was great. I mean, it'll be a real boosting win for them, a team morale win. They played well last night or yesterday against Korea, and now that they have this win under their belt, that'll just move them forward in the tournament.
New Zealand thanking everyone in the tournament for their support. We get together now for a huddle. You're right, a morale boosting win. They know what they're capable of. Wasn't the result they would have wanted yesterday, but they played with the same heart and spirit that they did again today. And this time they get the win that they deserve. At the moment, sitting third in their group. A crucial game to win, like we said, Laurie. It was going to pretty much determine third place if everything went as expected. And that's exactly what it's done. So the final stats from the game, a 54% clip from the three-point line from New Zealand.
Well, that's the absolute standout. That was excellent from them, 15 from 28. We won't look at the bottom line for them. Their free throws, 47%, but they should be celebrating the way they went out and played. Dominant in the rebounds, dominant in the assists. 25 turnovers, again, that's something they need to improve on. And as we said, it doesn't get any easier when they've got China in the next game.
Absolutely right. The top scorers for each team, McGoldrick and Pizzi in double digits with 18 and 12 points. Shearer rounds it out with 8. And then for Indonesia, no surprise to see Pierre-Louis with 11. Antonio and Wong Sahajo each finished the game with 6 points apiece. Pierre-Louis did all she could for Indonesia, but the fourth quarter best plays, they'll show a bit of an Indonesia fight back, as we mentioned that they were leading the quarter at one point, but New Zealand, they got their game going. They rounded out that quarter 17 points to 10 and finished off strongly.
Well, they did, and we just saw a couple of drives to the basket by Wong Sahajo, which unfortunately she didn't do enough of, and we know that Kim Pari-Louis was injured after in the second quarter. She came out and tried gallantly, but she looked like she was pretty restricted in what she could do. But it was really all New Zealand. It was about the way they played as a team, the way they bounced back, their mental approach to it was really good.
And for Indonesia, they go to 0-2. They've shown a lot of spirit and fight in both of their games, but was it to be for them tonight? So here are the standings for Group A. New Zealand on top of the moment, got a 1. And then we'll see how it works tonight with China and Korea to round out the games in Group A. Up next in Group B, it's Japan up against Australia. So a couple of big finishes to round out today. But siding off from Shenzhen at the moment, it was New Zealand getting the job done over Indonesia by 30 points.
Please make sure that take all your belongings with you. And thank you for your cooperation. 观众朋友们，本场比赛已全部。
Congratulations！ 让我们再次用热烈的掌声祝贺 Rugby 也感谢 FIBA 国际篮联全球合作伙伴 FIBA 对篮球运动的大力支持。我再次恭喜 FIBA。 30